There are some interesting secret places on Google Earth, and I'm going to show you 3 of them. These ones are all based in China, so our first job is to locate China. We do that by going up to the left, up to the Fly To box, and type in the word China, and then press enter. Now we're zoomed in on China, what we want to do is go a bit closer, with paying a special interest to this flat area over here. And let's just center that on the screen, and then we'll zoom in on the right hand side of it. Now on the right hand side of it, you'll see that we've got this flat plane and we've got a line running up to the right, and we've got a vertical line coming down. And where the two join, there's some interesting things around here. What I've got on here, on places, I've already highlighted some of them so it's easier for you to see. So the first one is 2 squares. So we follow the line out, where the vertical line joins, that's where we're going to zoom in. And if we have a look, there's 2 square features on the ground. Quite interesting features, and especially if you measure the size of them. So we'll use a ruler, bring the ruler in. To use a ruler, if mouse navigation is ticked, untick it, and then you can measure across the ground. And this square is just over 1 mile wide. Clear that. And 0.8 of a mile tall, so you can see they're quite big. Switch mouse navigation back on and close that down. That's 2 squares, and if we zoom in on these, you can see that somehow they've made them on the ground over 1 mile wide, and they're quite interesting. There's rumours that they're to do with satellites, and there's quite a few rumours going around the internet, but I'll leave it up to you to decide what they are. This one looks like it's been created and then abandoned, and over to the left of it there's another one that's just sort of been flattened out. It's really strange. So 2 of them for you to have a look at, and remember they are quite big. Just to the right of that, there's, I'll switch to the next one on, 2 runways. We zoom in on these runways, very big runways, a number of buildings around, but no life in the area. They just seem to be abandoned, and they look quite interesting when you zoom in. So I suggest you have a look at the 2 runways. It looks like there's an amount of damage been happening over the years here. And over here something. It's very interesting. If you do have a zoom in, have a good look round, and you can see buildings and things. So I'll leave it up to you to have a look round, because there's quite a bit of interesting stuff to investigate in the area. Strange patterns and buildings. I highly recommend you have a good look round there. The third one that I want to show you, just zoom out from these. So we've got 2 squares, 2 runways, and then a square pattern over to the right there. If you zoom in on that area, there are actually quite a few more things in this, but I've just picked the first 3. And there's another square pattern, and again if we measure that, let's have a look at the distance from one side to the other. 0.66 of a mile. Clear that. And from top to bottom, 1.15 miles. So you can see it's very big. And if we just zoom in on here, you can see it's been drawn on the ground, on very rough ground, and it just seems to be all over the place. But there's some method behind it from the angles. The last thing that we can do to make it more interesting is go back in time and see how it looked in the past. Down at the bottom it shows us see historical imagery from 2003, and in 2003 that pattern didn't exist. If we drag the slider to the right, by 2005 the pattern did exist. If you have a look over here, you can see buildings and vehicles. They're actually building the pattern in 2005. By 2007 these vehicles and buildings have gone, and let's go through till 2011 and we've got tracks across there. So there's activity in the area, but we don't know what it is. So there you go. So that's 3 interesting places on Google Earth: China 2 squares, 2 runways and a square pattern, and they're just to the right of the big area that's playing like that. It's worth having a look around because there's a lot more than this, and I would highly recommend you have a look around.